Good morning, everyone. I am Charlene Green, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing Dr. John Taylor this morning. I've known John for many years. He's actually my father, and I love that he continues to bring his gifts and talents and give them to the world so that we can have better, more functioning relationships and understand just the different nuances of how to become the best version of ourselves. And as a parent, I know that's important to me because I have children, but it's very important that we're teaching our kids so many of the little nuances that will help them really have stability within themselves and great relationships with others. So today there is a little free video that's going to be coming, and he's going to be telling you so many great things, like how to teach your children the art of apologizing. They can really heal their relationships and have functioning relationships, but most importantly, they can learn to take personal responsibility for themselves. And Dr. Taylor's been practicing in the field of psychology for over 40 years. He's written numerous books, has an incredible website, Parentology, really teaching us about parenting. But I think it extends far beyond just being a parent. It's about being a person, a human, about having interactive relationships with our friends and other people. And then, of course, sharing this wonderful teaching with other people so they too can help their children. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Taylor on how to teach children the art of apologizing.
Thank you, Charlene. Welcome. I'm so glad you can be with us today. Our topic is how to get kids to apologize and to do it in a way that heals their relationships. Teaching kids and teens how to apologize. It's a difficult skill, and as you know, we adults aren't all that good at it either. So let's help our kids do it right, to actually heal a relationship. And we go to the fact that by my estimation, and for many years in my practice, I've taught kids and teenagers and adults the 8 steps of apologizing. And I made it so that they all begin with the letter A. I refer to this as the 8 A's of apology. And it's a nice way to teach it to anybody. Hope you take some really good notes. I can write all this good stuff down. We start with admitting. Now, we want to train kids. The first step in, oops, I did something bad and wrong, and I want to heal what happened there, is to acknowledge that you did it. Don't cover it up. Don't lie about it. Yes, this is what I did. Or, yeah, I'm the one who did that. Just, you own it. Just admit it. It's far better to admit than to be a liar. The second A is to account. That is to explain what you were thinking when you did that. But instead of saying, why did you do that? Say, what were you telling yourself when you da-da-da-da-da? So I like to teach them the concept of I account for what I was telling myself. Why did you attempt to steal that $10? I wanted it to buy a new computer game with. I was thinking that I needed a new computer game and no one was looking. That is the accounting. The accounting for what you did doesn't really defend what you did, but it lays open the underlying self-talk that led to it. So the teenager has shoplifted the necklace. You don't say, why did you shoplift that necklace? You say, what were you telling yourself when you reached forward to grab that necklace? And whatever the self-talk was, that's what we want them to nab onto if possible. And you can sort of coax it out of them if you need to. Third one is to acknowledge. Acknowledge what? That it was the wrong thing to do. It was not a good thing to do to steal the necklace. It's not a good thing to steal somebody's $10 so you can buy a computer game with it. So we want the child to acknowledge openly that what they did was bad and wrong. It is okay to use those words. When building conscience, we want to be very concerned with right and wrong. And I wanted you to understand that the reason why things are bad and wrong, basically, is that they cause pain and hurt. either to objects, animals, Mother Earth, other people. So equating bad and wrong with hurtful is a good concept. And even young children can understand that. That's why it was bad, it hurt somebody. Or it would hurt if you didn't get caught in the future, it'll hurt you and the other person too. Now, you may recall in some of my other little trainings, so these 15-minute free webinars and in some of my 2-hour ones, I mentioned the idea that when kids are misbehaving, it's actually lose-lose. The misbehaving child is also losing, not just the victim. But in apology, you want to be quite frank about that what I did was wrong and bad because somehow it hurt something or somebody, or will in the future hurt somebody. As long as it's wrong. Now, the fourth step is what many people would like to boil all these 8 A's down into, the famous I'm sorry statement, which I call apologize. And basically, it's that famous I'm sorry. Now, telling somebody I'm sorry is one of the least well-performed social skills by children. Tell them you're sorry. That doesn't heal anything. So I like to sort of dwell on the I'm sorry with kiddos and train them in it. I'm sorry that I did that thing because it was wrong, because it hurt somebody. I'm sorry for doing what I did. That kind of concept. Now, here we have one girl saying, I'm sorry that I hurt you. But there's a big temptation among kids, and in fact, in sociopaths of all ages, they literally are not sorry that they hurt anybody. They are sorry that the policeman caught them, or that they were reported to the principal, or that so-and-so saw them do it, or that they ended up getting in trouble from it. So the temptation among kids is to say, I'm sorry that I got caught, rather than I'm sorry that I hurt you. And we want to try to dwell on that if necessary, because sociopathic logic does not allow for I'm sorry I hurt you. In fact, they're glad they hurt you if they're a sociopath. So they're sorry only that they got caught. That's one of the hallmark characteristics of psychopaths and sociopaths. So let's make sure when your kiddo apologizes that they understand that sorrow is because someone was hurt by what you did, and that is bad and wrong, not because you got caught. Now, so far, we've explored 4 of those 8 A's. This is the halfway point through our 8 A's. We admit that we did it without lying. We account, that is, give the temptation thinking, the self-talk leading to the act you did. You acknowledge it's a bad and wrong thing, and you apologize, not for getting caught. You're not sorry you got caught. You're sorry that you hurt somebody. The famous I'm sorry. Now, those first 4 A's redeem the past action. It brings us to the current moment. The next 4 A's build for the future. So let's take a look at it. The first one of the last 4, in other words, the 5th, is to ask. What are you going to ask for? A gift. Notice the word give in the word forgiven. Ask for their forgiveness. And the simple quote there on the slide says it. Now, here's another opportunity for you to really clarify things with your kids. Not only you're sorry that you hurt somebody, that not just got caught, but to ask them to forgive you. You have no right to demand that they forgive you. No fair saying, you have to forgive me. You owe me forgiveness. If they give you their forgiveness, that is a gift from them to you. The only right you have is to politely ask for it. Now, there is a way you can sort of earn that gift, and it is those next 3 A's in our little list. So you can just introduce this like this. Asking somebody to please, I hope you will please forgive me for this. And it really is a hope. It's not, I demand you forgive me. You have to forgive. It's not that. You don't demand a gift from somebody. You ask politely for the gift. I hope you can forgive me. The next A is to affirm. What are you going to affirm? You are going to affirm the relationship. You're going to affirm that you want to heal the relationship. You don't want to lose their friendship. You want them to still like you. You want to still have them be nice to you and you nice to them. The real healing in the entire relationship is encompassed in this affirming. And so you just proclaim and affirm, I want to be your friend. So let's say that you are the child and you actually tried to steal $10 from your friend, and your friend caught you at it, and you acknowledged that it was a bad thing to try to steal the $10, and you accounted that you wanted to buy it to buy a computer game with, and you didn't think you get caught. And you did the fourth A. You said you were sorry for taking their money because it was a bad thing to do. You didn't say you're sorry your friend caught you. You say you're sorry that I stole the money. And then then you ask, I hope you'll forgive me. I still want to be your friend. I want to have a relationship with you. I don't want this to ruin our friendship. So that's the affirming. See how it nicely fits in? And then the next one. The seventh of these 8 A's is amends, making amends. Now here we have another common misunderstanding. That amends means you give them their $10 back. No, that is restitution. That is not good enough. That doesn't heal anything. You owe them the $10. All you're doing is give them what you owe them. That's no gift from you to them. That doesn't heal anything. What if you sneer at them and throw the $10 at them? There's your lousy $10. Is that an amends? No, it is restitution delivered rudely. What is amends? You do two things. You undo what you did, that would be giving them the $10 back, the restitution. And you do, what does that say in my slide? What kind of favor? A big favor. I want to show you how sorry I am. Please let me do you a favor to show that. I'll clean your house for you, I'll wash your car, and so forth. Mow your lawn, whatever it is. I like to show you that I want to make it up to you. And so I like to teach it that amends is restitution plus favor. And I like to use the analogy of a peach because kids understand that easily. They understand that the whole peach involves the pit in the middle plus that delicious flesh around the pit. The delicious flesh is the favor. It feels good. Giving the $10 back is the pit of the peach. It's restitution. The pit is yucky. It's ugly. You can't eat it. So it's yucky. But the really good part of the peach, the reason we buy peaches is to have the flesh, the favor, the good stuff. The amends is the whole peach. The pit plus the flesh. Restitution without the favor isn't any good. A favor without any restitution is even worse. So you would say to your friend, I'll tell you, I'm sorry. I want to show you how sorry I am. I'll wash your car for you, but I think I'm going to keep your $10. That doesn't heal the relationship. What heals it is you give the $10 back and you wash their car to show them how sorry you are. So however you want to word that, I think that's the way to do it. And you can introduce the concept of the peach, it's the whole peach. The seed isn't good enough. You don't just give them the $10 back, give them a favor. So that is that. Okay. Now we go to the last one. Adjust. Adjust what? Adjust your actions so you don't steal another $10 from them and really mean it. So you've changed, you learn your lesson. That way they can indeed easily forgive you and have it not ruin the relationship. They can welcome you back into friendship again because you're different now. You don't do it anymore. So your actions speak louder than your words, and you follow through. Now, if you keep stealing $10 and each time you promise you'll never do it again, and you keep doing it over and over, what does that do to the relationship? So really, to complete the whole thing, the apology needs to end in the 8th one, your action. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll trade you 8 for 8. A mental age of 8 years or more in the child, thinking like an average 8-year-old or older, that is enough mental acuity to understand all 8 of those concepts. So I teach it as I'll trade you 8 for 8. If the child has a mental age of an 8-year-old or higher, teach them all 8 of these A's. Actually go through and role play with them and teach them just as I'm teaching you these 8 A's, and have them do it. If the child's mental age is not at that level yet, he's a 5-year-old child, she's 4 years old, or he's 7 years old, or a 12-year-old with a mental age much less than an 8-year-old, and so forth, very low IQ or whatever, then don't expect all 8 A's out of them. So it has to be a clear thinking individual with mental age of at least 8 to understand all 8 of those concepts. Just teach them whichever ones they can understand if their mental age is not at an 8-year-old level. Well, you can get lots of help, many books at my online discount bookstore with 350 resources in it. You can email me, Parentology.guide64@gmail.com. The website, of course, is Parentology.guide. There's my mailing address, and you can fax me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at that fax number. It's on the screen there. So I'm delighted to have you contact me if you have any questions about this. I sincerely, deeply appreciate your participating with us today. Hope you can join us at another one of these classes soon. Please help us get the word out about these free options, these free classes on my website. Anybody's welcome to them. And I hope you'll join us again in the near future. This is the end of our training today. And I have one more slide for you, which thanks you very much. Thank you so much for participating.